This is the third of the SuperSport Rugby Challenge Sunday Festivals, triple headers featuring 2 provincial games and 1 Gold Cup qualifier. This match happens to be one from the Karoo League, and it is between the home team Oudtshoorn and Prince Albert. A fascinating first half, 7 points apiece of them.
7 points apiece. It's a close battle, but take a look at that. That picture tells a story. People on camera, kids having fun, smiles all over. That is what it's all about. The SuperSport Rugby Challenge, bringing communities together with their rugby heroes. And Oudtshoorn is a club of 135 years of age, full of history, heritage. I wish their clubhouse walls could tell stories, because I can tell you there's some personalities that have come through that club. Prince Albert, on the other hand, from a beautiful little Karoo town. A lot of the guys are policemen. They have hard jobs. It's rugby of the working class hero. They work all day, get home in the afternoon, go to their local club. It's about a brotherhood. It's what you form in that club for the future. You're there for a very long time. You can tell stories. It's an amazing story, actually.
And it's really great to bear witness to. So wonderful to have it on display for you on SuperSport. There's their big number 3. He's wearing the 25 jersey, I assume, because that was the only triple XL one. It's Adrian Ludewijk. 137 kilograms worth of a player coach, and that is community rugby at its very best.
I wonder why he wears that 25 jersey, Paul. Probably because 3 goes into 24-8, so there's a little bit extra.
Oh. And I did standard grade mathematics, let me tell you, and I scraped through 50%.
I didn't do maths at all.
This is the third. As I said, the next is Sisidukasha Stadium in Mdansane, coming on the 17th of June. Do make sure to join us there if you are in the area, or if you are in the Oudtshoorn area today. We have 2 more matches coming your way. The next up is Lions versus the Bulls. That's going to be a big one. 2 impressive sides in this year's SuperSport Rugby Challenge. And the final match of the day, Southwestern Districts taking on Western Province. Plenty of high-quality rugby for you here today. Free entry. Make your way down. Back underway, Prince Albert, get us started. Marshall Kaiser, to be specific. The bounce of the rugby ball is fallen away from the Oudtshoorn players, but it is going to be a scrum down to Oudtshoorn.
Well, the ball did not travel 10, so therefore Oudtshoorn do have the option. Will be a restart with a scrum from the centre line. Don't forget about fantastic packages that DSTV do have, and that's Showmax. It's free for all premium subscribers, and I can tell you can catch a lot of extra television shows, movies, you name it.
Set.
Great series, locally made ones as well as international. You can binge watch all you want on Showmax. Once again, the scrums are really untidy, especially so for Oudtshoorn, and even when they seem to be moving forward, they can't control the ball at the back. They haven't won too many penalties off of them, whereas Prince Albert have taken advantage of theirs. Charging into contact is Clifton Klassen, just 20 years of age. It's a great youth theme here at this Oudtshoorn club, where many of these club sides have some older players. These guys have a number of youngsters. 10 of their players are under the age of 23. That man's ripped the ear protections off of that scrum cap and hasn't taken it to the tailor to tidy that up. Kicking responsibilities have been passed on to Anru Tolkien after a number of kicks did not find touch in the first half, and that cost Oudtshoorn plenty.
Not releasing the ball at the breakdown point. It does look like he did show daylight. Unfortunate, but that is penalty number 10 that Prince Albert have conceded.
Lawrence, that did not look to be very straight at all. It has been tapped down by Captain Lamprecht. And Oudtshoorn on the attack. They're on the 10-meter line of Prince Albert. Van Vieren, Steerman. It was not Steerman, that was Van Vogel. And he's off to his locking partner Tolkien into the contact. Van Vieren blind again. And this is Steerman. He's looking for an inside runner. Nobody was there to support. And the ball has been turned over spectacularly so by Jafta, who continues to have a wonderful game for Prince Albert. Seemed to touch that ball on the ground. It will be a scrum down to the men in blue.
Well, there's Ruan Tolkien. He's a product of Oudtshoorn Ha. He has been the go-to man to get over the advantage line for this Oudtshoorn side. He's a big man at 129 kilograms.
Let's get the timing right, no hidden chase.
His
Crouch!
rugby ambition is to play every game as if it were his last.
Set.
Can get no more honorable than that. The brotherhood of these players, and brings you back to play club rugby again and again. And look at this Prince Albert scrum marching forward. The man's put his hands in. It was going to be a penalty in any case. As Jafta breaks and looks on the inside. That man's beaten this trouble. Slapped down, intentionally so, by Lamprecht, who walks away with his head hung in shame. Are we going back for a previous infringement? Look at the happiness on the players. Wow, enjoying the rugby.
We are going back for a previous scrum penalty sanction, and is one area that Prince Albert have controlled on their own ball, keeping the ball controlled at the base of the scrum with forward momentum in the form of Tershwell Kurt. It's a lovely touch finder from Prince Albert, but to go back to the scrums, this is where it started. It's a good dominant scrum up front, but the control at the back from Kurt is exceptional.
His opposite number, Emil Lamprecht, has had some trouble with that when Oudtshoorn have found themselves advancing in the scrum. This is a big chance for Prince Albert to put some distance between the two sides. That line out has been won, but chucked down into the ground. It bounces into touch. It should be a line out throw in to Oudtshoorn.
Well, Prince Albert opting for the banker ball option in the front of the line out. It's not easy. It comes rocketing in. You need control.
Up goes Lamprecht, receives. This time it is called as being not straight by refereeing Lesser. There have been many that have threatened to do just that today.
Well, the line-out option for the Oudtshoorn side has been the money ball man, and that is Emil Lamprecht, their big number 8. He's 34 years of age, but unfortunately on that occasion, CJ Lawrence not finding the mark.
Crouch. Bind. Set. Wait.
Just to remind you how much this game means to both sides, Prince Albert are 18 points off the top of the log and Oudtshoorn are 11 points. So it's so crucial that they win here today. And Prince Albert are advancing towards the Oudtshoorn line now. Vusi Macero, ball carrier.
No, no.
Jafta searching for it. On the run is Massous. That's a good strong run. The momentum was on his side. That is what running from depth can bring you. Committing 2 defenders there, back on the inside. This is great play. One last pass, asking for way too much there. Needed to take that ball to ground. But it is going to be a scrum down to Prince Albert, and the chance is still on.
The chance is definitely still on, considering the fact that they have been dominant in the set piece as far as scrums are concerned. One area that both sides have let them down are 50-50 offloads. I like the attitude. You want to keep the ball alive, keep the ball alive off the tackle, get front foot ball going forward, but sometimes you need to take it to the contact point.
Set. Keep it.
In a game where there have been few opportunities close to the Oudtshoorn line, this represents a massive chance for Prince Albert, and there's space on the open. Really perhaps could have afforded to let their scrum work Oudtshoorn once more.
12.
But they want to score a try by their own hands. No penalty try. Spreading the ball wide. The final defender is well beaten. The numbers on the outside, and Bentley Polsa is there to finish.
Continued pressure from the Prince Albert side. Earns an eventual try for Bentley Polsa, but the build-up to the try was outstanding. The quality of the pass, that pass out wide, beating all the defenders. Quality. Outstanding pass. It's on his weak side as well. But what Polsa does well is he keeps his width, he hugs that far touchline, he keeps his depth, he makes it look easy.
On Bentley Polsa's player fact sheet, which the players fill out themselves, he's put his weight down at 52 kilograms. Kaiser, very important kick considering the nature of the match. It's up, it's very high. The direction is not right. And the score remains 12 points to 7 in favor of the visitors.
Well, it's outstanding play. But that pass out wide from the outside centre, Marshall Kaiser finds the money ball, and it's Pulse who scores. And he said he's 52 kilograms. That's probably with a wet rugby jersey on. He's a slender young man, but he gets the finish, and he does it to perfection.
He's a man whose day job is a plumber. Went to Bridgeton Secondary, and he was born in Prince Albert, as so many of these players playing for Prince Albert today were. Staying in the community, building their rugby, and cutting straight through is the kicker, Kaiser. Kaiser with a man on the outside, needed to open his eyes, and there would have been space galore for Wilfred Fries, but as it stands, Oudtshoorn running straight back at them. Klaassen, the man with ball in hand. The inside ball is spectacular, held onto well by Patrick Olkers in the midst of some serious contact. And Prince Albert flood that breakdown, but unfortunately cannot secure the turnover. And the penalty does come the way of Oudtshoorn. Van Vuuren always thinking about the quick tap. He does tap and go, and now looks for Stoffels in support. Prince Albert really attacking these breakdowns now, and Oudtshoorn are struggling to clear. Looking for supporting runners, and then over the top from Hilton Delaan. It has fallen into the hands of Timi. Breaking blind, Oudtshoorn really playing at a high tempo now. See how desperately they want to get back into this match. They only trail by 5 points, of course. Once again looking for supporting runners, but that pass has not gone to hand. Prince Albert failed to capitalize as they knock it on. The play is still alive though, and another knock-on comes, and we will have a scrum down. There's a touch of feeling between the players there now.
One area that has let both sides down slightly is turnovers conceded and handling errors, but it can be expected due to conditions. No longer raining, but there was rainfall early on this morning, so it is wet and greasy out on the field.
Crouch.
This is a vital scrum for both sides.
Set.
That it is Van Vuuren to feed. Can Oudtshoorn hold their own as they've been struggling as the match has gone on? Klaassen is in at the first receiver position, and that pass has fallen to a Prince Albert player who tries a real dream ball, Wilfred Fries, to the outside, and has given the ball straight back to the home side, Oudtshoorn. Klaassen, the youngster, tries to present that ball, holding on the ground, never gave the player the chance to make the turnover, tried to trap the ball underneath his body, and he has paid the price, a penalty going the way of Prince Albert here, and they'll have the chance to find a good touch.
Well, it's perfect execution of the rules from Jaco Hendricks, the fly half. He wins that penalty for his side, getting in and onto the ball after the good carry from the fullback Clifton Klaassen. He's been a live wire for his side, but take a look at that. On his feet, in a position of strength, he beats the cleaners and wins the penalty.
Back onto the field now. Came on briefly for CJ Lodens in the first half for a Bloodben replacement, but now Jaco Marks comes on once more. He's coming on to replace the number 7, Hilton Delaan, according to our graphics. That lineout has eventually been won by Oudtshoorn, neither of these sides having the most clinical of lineout work here today. Steerman with the grabber through. Will he get to this first? He does, and it does fall kindly for Van Vuuren over the halfway line. No need to try that pass, and Jafta capitalizes for Prince Albert and begins charging it straight back at Oudtshoorn, who really need to respect the possession a lot more. That is an old heave-ho from Jaco Hendricks, looking for touch on the far side, and what a kick that has turned out to be.
Oh, Jaco Hendricks, the guest house manager, product of Swartberg High. A lovely weighted touch finder, and what that does is it just keeps your forwards moving forward, especially with the big guys up front in that front row. You pick your head up from a ruck or a scrum or a line-out and you look up and you down in the red zone. What a feeling.
Especially holding a 5-point lead. This Prince Albert side, they're looking to extend that. Marks with the feed to the line out. They've gone short this time, very wisely so. Emil Lamprecht jumping at the number 2. Got that maul rolling early on, but Prince Albert have put a stop to that. And they won't be advancing too much further. Big man at the back, but Van Vuren sends it out to the back line. And they're working the numbers from depth here. They want to run it all the way upfield, and they have an overlap now. Klaassen, he gets it to the outside and charging on his Olkers. Olkers over the top. Looks like it will be falling kindly for Prince Albert and Bradley Macherman, to be specific. Oh, it has gone straight into touch. That was not Macherman, it was try scorer Bentley Paulser. Full of confidence now. Unfortunate with the direction of that chip.
Well, wrist rugby roared, almost paying off for Oudtshoorn. It's good quality, silky touches in front of heavy traffic for their backline players. Once again, opting for the grubber. It has been a tactic from both sides.
Another great put in there for Jaco Marks, who's come onto the field and really impressed this time around. Oh, some big hits coming in there, and it is an advantage to Oudtshoorn. Clearing from the base, Fernando Timi. Ball runner is Timo Windvogel. But a penalty will accrue for the high tackle. Van Vuren surely won't be tap and go from this far out from the try line.
Captain, please.
And Van Vuren has not found touch, and that is why they changed over to Unruh Tolkien kicking for touch, who's found every touch that he's attempted, and it has presented an opportunity to Prince Albert here. What a ball that is to Fries. Fries with the dummy to the outside, and now looking! It has been spilt by Jonald de Vie at the very most crucial of moments. Look at the anger on the faces of the fans. This is the away team, of course, Prince Albert, and the bench as well.
9 foot.
Everybody in together, all for one.
Well, it's unforced and costly errors, which is gifting position to Oudtshoorn, and that picture tells a story of 1,000 words. He is so frustrated with himself. An open try line in front of him, and the big lock forward, De Vie, spills one.
Great interplay just before that. Good to see Prince Albert expressing themselves. And that's Van Vuren. He's really given a full effort for the Oudtshoorn side today. 19 years old. He went to the Grand Como week, which is the under-16 Craven week back in 2015. Breaking blind, Lamprecht. His head piling into the turf there. But presents again. He's gotten through a mountain of work. Look at the quality of that tackle. Saw the man coming. Teshwell Koort. Almost looked like he was offsides. He nailed him in such a direction. Oudtshoorn are running it literally from their own try line once more, and that is going to be a knock-on. Pickup is great. Try is on. Over the line. What a piece of defense. Desperation from Oudtshoorn. It looked like Marshall Kaiser making his way to the line. It was a spectacular pickup as well.
Well, Oudtshoorn chasing the scoreboard, but that pickup there is picture perfect. And the cover defense of Clifton Klaassen saves the day for Oudtshoorn.
Another one of the youngsters, Clifton Klaassen, 20 years of age, the man who went off the field. Giovanna van Vuren, 19. Got a 22, 21 and 22-year-old players in the front row, Oudtshoorn. So they're playing for the present and the future. Another 19-year-old on the bench, Gideon Vermeulen, 98 kgs worth of him. Marks the feed. His lineouts have been perfect thus far, but this one has fallen to Prince Albert in a crucial position on the field. Should Prince Albert score next, it'll really put the fear of God inside of these Oudtshoorn players. Spreading the ball, there should be gaps here on the outside. The defensive line is stuttered and the wraparound coming, but once again nobody can put their hands on the ball. This is still alive. Who's got the pace to chase this down? Who really wants it is the question. Oh, almost falling into the hands of Benjamin Bierkes for Oudtshoorn, but the good cover came from Jaco Hendricks for Prince Albert, and we have a line out coming.
Well, the Prince Albert side is managed by none other Jason Jafta, formidable referee, and I'm sure he'll be sitting on the sidelines very nervous. But coming up next in the SuperSport Rugby Challenge, we have the Blue Bulls up against the Golden Lions 15.
It should be a very interesting match. Both of those sides have been looking good this year. SuperSport Rugby Challenge really shaping up. The sides have come to terms with the competition and are fielding very strong sides. But this is Oudtshoorn attempting to make their comeback into this match. They trail by 5. They managed to thwart Prince Albert's attempts to score there. Just camped out on their try line, and now they've got space on the outside. Bierkes gives it off to Klaassen. Klaassen is putting on the afterburners. The grubber through. How will it bounce? Jafta's back once more.
22.
Oh, the grubber kick is a good tactic in the wet, but it needs to be used with measure.
No.
And Prince Albert will be very glad to have been able to pounce upon that. Jafta, how much of the field has that man covered today? The number 9 for Prince Albert, he has been everywhere. Hendricks with a 22-meter dropout. That's Lamprecht again, he's everywhere. Charging up, he beats the first defender easily. Inside ball to Stierman. Good support and aggressive support by Richard Majola. Had to hold the ball up, give time for his forwards to arrive. That is highly illegal. Advantage given. Well, we're going to stop the match. Cynical. Let's see what referee Nlesa has to say here.
Yeah, the chat with the captain late in the first half regarding the offside lines. We recommend that the guy will be behind the last man's feet. Now it's creeping in. There were a few in the first half. We've got to work hard on that. Okay, offside to the right.
Well, the captain, Graham Hendricks, gets called into the headmaster's office and warned about offside lines, diving through the ruck, playing the opposition scrum half. And that has been an area that has let down this Prince Albert side. Discipline on the field, that is penalty number 13 that they have conceded. And this is why the penalty occurs.
On our stats here, we have ball spread to wing, 13 for Oudtshoorn and 2 for Prince Albert. And Oudtshoorn have really been focusing on that here in the second half, running the ball from their own try line. That throw-in has gone horribly wrong. It's not a significant breeze to speak of to take it that far, of course. An unfortunate mistake from Mr. Marks, and it will be a scrum down to Prince Albert. 20 minutes remaining in this match. It remains right on the edge.
It was a ball deemed for Timo Windvogel, but Jaco Marks, you could see how upset he was with himself. It was a vital ball for his side, and they've conceded possession.
A free kick coming to Prince Albert after that. And just giving possession away in stages, that's real coach killing stuff right there. Giving the opportunity to Jakes Hendricks, as he is known by his friends and players. A man who played Southwestern Districts under 21 in 2008 and 2009. He finds a good touch for Prince Albert.
It was a free kick scrum advantage, so therefore it will be a line-out feed for Oudtshoorn.
Great contest to the front of the line-out. Prince Albert do come away with it by hook or by crook. Spreading it down the back line. Good aggressive running. Support lines are fantastic. Keizer gets it away to Macherman. Macherman has a man on the outside again who has not been found. Keizer is back on the inside. Oh, look at that is Lamprecht again. I mean, this guy's engine is unbelievable.
No!
Well, Prince Albert retained possession. And once again, they have the numbers to the outside. The dummy and go is from Massous.
Release White!
Good aggressive rucking from Oudtshoorn. Do they have numbers over here? No. It has been shifted back by Prince Albert, and once again space and numbers on the right hand side, and they will capitalize. Bentley Pulsar stepping men after the try line, laying back in the cut, looked like he was on the beach at the end. Smiles on faces, and Prince Albert extend their lead.
Or Bentley Polster, the plumber, gets his brace. It's half fives all around, and they get that mini break of 10 points. But that pickup from the ground and the timing of the pass out wide, Polster makes it look so easy. Reason being is he hugs the far touchline, he keeps his depth, he comes from space, and there's no answers for that.
Second try of the day for Polster. Of course, shares a name with an extremely famous South African rugby player. I'm sure needs no introduction. Marshall Kaiser with another opportunity. This one far simpler. He'll really be looking to put this over. Take his team out to a 12-point lead. Should it be successful? The flags are raised. A successful attempt from Kaiser. 19 points to 7.
And then he does, and it's Prince Albert in the second half that have upped the tempo, but the pickup from the ground from Jaco Hendricks, that's what made the try for the young man Polster.
Tell you who'll be tearing his hair out will be Wilfred Fries. They call him Chili, number 11.
That was quite a celebration. Goodbye, son. That try will stand.
A man who enjoys his rugby, Mr. Polster. That is a great take in the air from Prince Albert. Jaco Hendricks showing bravery, getting up off the ground. And of course, who was chasing up for Oudtshoorn? None other than their captain, Emil Lamprecht. Is that a cross kick? It is, and it has almost come off. I mean, the vision is spectacular. Polster is just smiling the whole time.
Well, it's all smiles at the moment from Prince Albert, and that's what it's about. That's what a rugby fixture is about. It's the Karoo League. They're playing for a possibility to get to the quarter-final position, which means they have an opportunity to get promoted into the Southwestern Districts Premiership League, which eventually will mean that they could qualify for the Gold Cup in the future. That is what their ambition's about.
Also just shows you the prestige of the Gold Cup. Jumping, rising well is Gideon Vermeulen in the 19 jersey for Oudtshoorn, who has made his way onto the field. Gaps could be opening up here. You had to pass. And running beyond it is CJ Lawrence, the number 2. Replacement scrum half Fernando Arends. And the Prince Albert defense continues to hold strong. The ball is presented, slow as it may be. Pick up and go to the blind Lawrence. Prince Albert committing absolutely no one to these rucks. As you can see, the only 2 players there are standing in the first defender position. Inside ball is well covered as a result of that.
Coming.
Arends cutting back onto the inside. Jaco marks. Oudtshoorn retaining possession well here. This is perhaps the best period of building phases in the entire match. As I say that, a man has his hands on the ball for Prince Albert, but they do get it back again. Arends, Claessens, that is a great pass and a great tackle on him, making him pay for getting that ball away. Marks gets it off to Windvogel.
Play on, backwards, no.
Play on is the call, and Lamprecht once again is the man who carries forward. Arends. Klaassen in the first receiver position, numbers that they had, but it has not gone to hand. Oudtshoorn continue to squander their opportunities, and time is ticking away. 14 minutes to play here, and the visiting side will be very happy with their 12-point lead.
Well, a handling error gives possession back to the Prince Albert side, and that has been one area of the game that has let them down. Number 10 for Oudtshoorn in this fixture.
15.
Turnovers conceded is 15. So if you take 10 handling errors, 15 turnovers, that's 25 balls that Prince Albert have not had to defend.
Cannot play, committing that many errors really defines the structure of the game, and they break blind this time, really growing in confidence. Dummy on the inside from Graham Hendricks, captain of the Prince Albert side. The play does break down, even when it goes into touch and it's a turnover ball. Graham Hendricks turns around from the ground, smiling and pointing at his teammates.
14 wide.
Keeping spirits high at all times in this Prince Albert side. Got another bench player coming onto the field, Keith Marks.
Keep it there, boys. Stay there, White.
I have not confirmed this, but he certainly bears a resemblance to Jaco Marks. A man who previously came on at hooker and is back on the field again. Arends from the base. Numbers on the outside that time. The times that they choose to run and not run out wide are interesting. They do not have the numbers this time, and going into the contact, well tackled by Prince Albert, and it has fallen loose out the back of the rack. Not enough pace on the chase, but who's this coming straight down the field? The dedication of Journal de Vere, pardon me. The number 4 jersey really reeling in some backline players there, making sure that you put the pressure on this ball, and this is what it has created, a breakdown right in front of Oudtshoorn's own posts, forcing them into a dangerous situation of running it out from their try line, not for the first time today. Steerman having to step his way out of trouble, the 36-year-old, who they call Pico. That kick has gone horribly wrong, straight down the center of the field, has fallen to Macherman, takes on the defenders. The pop is fantastic, and Solomons is in support. The Prince Albert players are there to set the rack. Great run around the corner from Masous. And the ball stays alive. It's Macherman who does well to get there and clear it from the base. Advancing with each phase of Prince Albert. And they're playing the game at a wonderful pace.
To release, please, Captain.
No release on the ground, says referee Ngese. Penalty to the visitors.
Captain, clear release. Take assist. Scrum called.
They have opted for the scrum from the penalty, have Prince Albert, and I believe that is a good option. It's an area that they have dominated, but this man, Journal de Vere, has been prominent in the second half for Prince Albert. And therefore, the number 8 sanctioned for not releasing the ball on the ground. Emil Lamprecht concedes the penalty. Lovely position for Prince Albert.
Another Prince Albert born player, De Vere. Look at the scrum marching forward. This is big trouble for Oudtshoorn, and there's no chance they'll be able to stop this. Must be an advantage, and it is. We're going for another penalty. There's strong chance they're going to call another scrum here. I mean, that dominance is frightening, and Oudtshoorn should be very worried.
Well, it is total dominance up front, especially at the set piece, and they have a penalty advantage. They're opting for the scrum. Paul, if it goes array here for Oudtshoorn, it could be a penalty try.
And that could represent the match for the home side.
Bind. Set.
Currently trailing by 12 with 10 minutes to go. They really do need to be the next side to score, and it does not look like that's going to be the case. The pickup from the base is mind-blowing. And the knock-on came from an Oudtshoorn player, and it'll be another scrum down to Prince Albert. But Vam, that scrum was marching forward, and they've done it before, keeping it in the back. Tershwil Kurt.
I believe that was a set piece starter move called from the beginning of that scrum, and therefore he broke wide. You could see the little scrum half from Prince Albert, who now is Jaco Hendricks, breaking out wide. So if that pass had a found hand, it could have been alarm bells for Oudtshoorn. Let's see what happens from this scrum, Paul.
My call is to work them. Work them as hard as you can, and they are doing just that. Court keeps it in at the back. Look at it rise in the front. Prince Albert march on. Players have broken off the back of this Oudtshoorn scrum. No longer bound. Cutting, looking, scoring. Jaco Hendricks.
Oh, don't you love it? Look at the reaction of the crowd. Prince Albert supporters that have made the trek from Prince Albert to Oudtshoorn for this Karoo League fixture. Dominant scrum, that's where it starts. Hendricks picks and goes from the base. No answers in the defensive line for Oudtshoorn, but he still had some work to do there. He runs at the space, not at the face, and finishes with perfection. And Paul Stubbs, that is a bonus point try.
That means plenty, because these sides, as we have mentioned a couple of times now, are playing for log positions. Prince Albert are sitting on 11 points and Oudtshoorn are sitting on 18. The leaders are on 29 points, and so they have plenty of ground to make up. This is Kaiser. Really likes to bend these kicks in. Starts from the out and moves to the in. And that conversion is successful, taking the scoreline out to 26 points to 7, a 19-point gap.
Well, the guest house manager, he knows where a try line is. As we mentioned earlier on, he played for Southwestern Districts under 21 in 2008 and 2009. He gets the bonus point score for his side.
Oudtshoorn playing in front of the home fans will be disappointed with the way that this match has gone away from them, and Jafta fires it straight back at them. What a game he's had. He's got a great engine and wonderful skills as well. But what about this guy, the captain, Emil Lamprecht, who continues to pull off the stop for Oudtshoorn. What a piece of play after his fly off, and Steerman obliges straight under the sticks.
Emil Lamprecht, he's led from the front. He is the Oudtshoorn captain. A man who is 34 years of age, has said it a lot. Unfortunately, his side are trailing, but that is a lovely take in the depth. He breaks inside. The offload in the tackle and the running line support play of Peter Steerman was fantastic.
It's hard to believe that Lamprecht is 34 years of age. I would have said 23, 22, the way he's running around the field today. An endless engine all game long. In the first half, he was so prominent, and he has not faded away. A real captain's knock. So we have 6 minutes left to play. Look how much he's put into it. His hands on his knees, but he's staying on the field, Emil. Kickoff this time is from Magerman. And it has been received by Timi. No option but to run now. Oudtshoorn, they did very well to strike right back, but they continue to trail by 12 points, so a 7-pointer would be pretty handy right about now to give them a chance to win this match at the death. And here they come again, suddenly inspired to run. It's Klaassen, who has been running all day, to be fair to him. Arends, the replacement scrum off. Once again, it's Lamprecht, the man who set up the try moments ago for this home side. Arends. Ball in hand is Timi, driven back. Prince Albert pounds upon the ball, and it does appear that it will be a turnover should they secure this, and that is precisely what they do. Bad news for Oudtshoorn. With 5 minutes left, they need to keep all the possession they can get their hands on. That is wonderful play from Hendricks, just the communication with his left winger, Wilfred Vries. Not at the highest level on that occasion. When Vries has stayed wide, he has not been found by two players that are making breaks. He had tries on twice that weren't completed.
And 7.
Well, Wilfred Vries is a taxi driver of profession.
Okay. Hold on, nothing to charge you with an option. When the scrum.
That's very positive for this Prince Albert side. They've scored 4 tries in this fixture. They are chasing a dream. And that's what life's about, dreams.
It's really spectacular to see community rugby. Players born in the region, staying in the region, and building the rugby in the region.
Find. Set.
Prince Albert looking to take as much time off the clock as possible, and also, of course, extend their lead once more. They just got comfortable before Oudtshoorn struck back, but they do continue to lead by 12 points, which is reasonably comfortable with 4 minutes to play. That much is for sure. Jafta, he finds Keizer playing in the fly-off position now, it would seem. Oh no, it was Jaco Hendricks. And that's Vries who does get it to the outside, and once again it's Pulsar. Pulsar got that horribly wrong, just as he was setting off once more. Is there any time where this man who's not smiling, he loves the game of rugby?
Well, what a fantastic advert for rugby. He's been good today, he's scored 2 tries. The cover defence were up to the task from Keith Moss. He was being shadowed towards that touchline, opting for a grubber. Not quite working this time, but what a happy young man on a rugby field. That's what we love to see.
Get down, Black, get down.
Marks. Well, those men are being held up in the air a mighty long time, but Gideon Vermeulen once again claiming the line-out win for Oudtshoorn, who once again are running from their own try line. It says a lot how much of the territory Prince Albert have controlled, that they've forced Oudtshoorn into these positions on regular occasions. And it is constantly dangerous for them. Almost gave a try away when one of the passes went awry just a few minutes ago. Oudtshoorn running once again around the corner that time.
No, Black. No, come up.
Well, the ball is slowing down. There's less than 3 minutes to play. This they cannot afford. Arends stood off the replacement scrum off. And that's Marcelino Boysen onto the field.
No.
108 kgs of him. He's been at Oudtshoorn Rugby Football Club since 2013. To the open side through Timi. Knocked on. Very disappointing. As you can hear, home crowd did not have much to say about that. Dead silence. And I can tell you there's some sudden looks on the faces here as they realize that this match is running away from them.
Once again, Prince Albert going to the bench. Stevens replaces Solomons up front. And it's a proud bunch of Prince Albert players that are running off. They know they've got this one in the bag.
Set.
Jeff defeats. Prince Albert working the scrum once more.
Use it 9.
They haven't forgotten the dominance that they have. They're told to use it. Not sure why, as Prince Albert were marching forward with that. Hands on the ball from Oudtshoorn, not good enough though. Jafta thinks about a snipe, ends up sending it. That is a great take on the fly, just in the one hand from Fernando Timi. Untidily at the back of that ruck. Jafta asking if that ball was out. Certainly appeared that it was, but Lamprecht consolidates for Oudtshoorn, for whom the match has certainly elapsed now. That is a good aggressive tackle. Is it Jafta again? He's doing everything out there, and Benjamin Bierkes has no chance of cutting the line. Arends back to the left through Marks. That is a good aggressive attempt at a tackle, but Timi was able to evade that effort. And some wild stuff, people diving in over the rack. Penalty and a double blast on the whistle. This could spell trouble with just 15 seconds remaining in the match. We have a man down. That is Timi.
Okay, 12.
Good to see him get up straight away.
It's good defense from the blindside flanker Skuman, and then the big prop forward. He's a player coach, Adrian Ludewijk, flying over that ruck, deemed as reckless and dangerous. He might be earning himself a yellow card at the death of this game.
Went to Morester, did Adrian Ludewijk, played for the SAA side in 2005 and had his youth career with the Southwestern Districts, as so many of these players had. They call them Chupi. With 80 minutes up on the clock, Oudtshoorn have one last chance to launch one last salvo in front of their home fans here and finish within 7 points of Prince Albert, should they succeed in scoring a 7-pointer.
Come up, White.
Marks. It's been hit and miss in the line out so far. That is a miss. Advantage to Prince Albert. Disappointing from Marks. And with time up on the clock, you would assume that's the end of the match. But it does appear that referee Nglesa is working off of his own watch, and we have gone ahead of his time, and we will have time to set this scrum. Prince Albert, the side well ahead in this game, 12 points clear, have the put in, and they're in full control of this match. They've scored themselves a bonus point, so crucial in their pursuit of the final four, the quarterfinals, the semi-finals rather, of this Karoo League. With those 5 points, they should go from 11 to 16, which will put them 2 points behind Oudtshoorn. Jafta feeds. He's been great. He looks like he's not even tired as well. I've cursed him somewhat, that pass. Left plenty to the imagination. And that is the final whistle. Vim, we've had a good time out here, haven't we?
We've had a fantastic time, and I can tell you, Paul, there's been a few handling errors, a few turnovers conceded, but at the end of the day, what has won? Rugby has been a winner. Prince Albert down. The locals, Oudtshoorn, 26 points to 14, 4 tries to 2. It has been a thriller. It has been a product of rugby, which has been enjoyed by everyone.